All right, with Savina Maya Miller, she's the Room Full of Memories is the short film played at the Animation Film Festival. The film is 1 minute and 40 seconds long. You're in Australia right now, so I'm in Toronto, so it's 10 p.m. On a Monday night, the day of the eclipse, and then what time is it for you? It's Tuesday in Australia, right?
Yeah, it's Tuesday. It's noon
It's noon, so you're
in Australia.
14 hours ahead of us.
Yeah.
So what pro? I'm really like not at my best today. It's been a long. I think this is the biggest lull I've had about podcast. What's the school that you guys did the film at?
So I study at the University of Melbourne, which is also sometimes referred to as the VCA, the Victorian College of Arts. And here I do all my animation.
And this is your first film. This is your first animated film.
This was my first animated film for my last academic year. So that was my first year film, and now I'm in second year, preparing to make my second year film.
So how long is the second film going to be?
So the criteria for for the second year film is, I think, 3 minutes,
Okay.
something like that.
So you keep moving up the storytelling ladder, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, they just get longer and longer.
So tell me about this particular project. Are you going to stick with 2D animation? Is that your thing?
Yes, I really enjoy 2D a lot more than I enjoy 3D. However, I think I'm going to incorporate 3D backgrounds into my newer projects.
Yeah.
However, this film, Room of Memories, I only did 2D. That was it.
So this particular film, the do you mind me saying the lead actor, the lead anime the lead person in this film looks awfully like yourself. Was that done on purpose?
Yeah, it happens a lot. Sometimes it's on accident, sometimes I do it on purpose, but this was based on a personal experience, so I did base the character off of myself.
So it's about basically about heartbreak, I guess, right?
Yes.
And so this is like love. You fall in love and you have heartbreak and you do it all in 100 minutes, 100 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a bit of a reach to try and grasp something so complicated within a minute. Um, I don't regret doing it, but could I go back and do it again, I probably wouldn't have picked something so deep to do for something that was supposed to be a minute long. But yeah.
You did it, and no, and I'm hope it's doing well in the festival circuit. Thanks for submitting to us because I think it's a fantastic film. It's really well done. In a lot of ways, this is your film, right? So meaning that like besides the composer, you kind of did everything, right?
Yes. It was pretty much just my work aside from the composer.
So okay, so tell me about the how does it work within the school? Do you have to like send them a script? Do you have to like tell them the idea? Do you have to give them like storyboards before they
Yeah.
allow you to start filming?
No, we do all of that. So we have pretty much the story is up to us, but we get graded on our storyboards, we get graded on our script, we get graded on pretty much everything throughout the process. Even our production schedule is graded.
Yeah.
So everything goes through them because we're doing all our work here in the University of Melbourne. So copyrights go to them, but it's all us.
Oh, the copyrights go to them.
Yes.
So you just because you're using their equipment, you're using their facilities, I guess, right?
Yes. That's exactly correct.
So, but you're also giving them tuition too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, so when we graduate, we can apply to receive the copyrights back, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the process is there. So it's take what I say with a grain of salt on that one.
No, no, because it's an interesting thing because it's USC has the same way. UC big film school in the States, they own the copyright of their films as well. But in other film schools around the world, including the States and Canada, the filmmaker always owns the rights to the film. So I guess it depends on the facilities
Yeah.
and like the power of the school, etc. I guess.
Yeah.
So, okay, but you made this film, it's your film, like you can't take that away from you. So how does it work then? So how many like, how many pictures are in this film? How many shots? Do you remember or no?
Off the top of my head, probably not, but a lot of them.
Yeah, like in the
A
thousands?
lot of them. I don't think in the thousands, but
In
it's definitely in the hundreds, I
the
would
hundreds,
say.
well, yeah, multiple hundreds. If you add up the frames, it does kind of come up within 1,000. So you just kind
Yeah.
of sit there during your semester and work on this project.
Yes. So typically our films start and finish in the second semester while we plan them in the first.
Mm.
So yes, that one was completely made and what can I say? Completely animated and completed in the second semester.
You already have the music already set up before you start animating? Is that already established?
Um, it I think it really depends on the person, but I personally didn't leave the score until about 2 days before I finished it, which was a little bit complicated, but I personally hadn't communicated very well with my composer because it was my first time using a composer. So, but
What
it
did you
worked
find the
out.
composer? It's Justice Carroll, right?
Justice Carroll. We actually go to the same university and we happen to stay in the same dorms. So I met Justice not only through the school, but as a friend, as a neighbor. So, and then I asked if she could be my composer, and she said yes.
Gotcha. All right, so let's talk about the film itself. Lots of red the themes, I guess, right?
Yes.
What does red represent for you?
Um, Sometimes it can mean a lot of different things depending on the situation, but in this instance, it represents panic, urgency, fear, anger, just just in a state of everything is going wrong kind of feeling.
So we don't, and when we're watching the film, we kind of don't know where we are in reality. Well, that's not really the point because you keep on. Well, the first shot is that we're down the school hallway, so we're thinking we're in the hallways, and then we go into her eyes, and then she's in some memory. So we think we're maybe that's where she is, and she's remembering this scene with her girlfriend, I guess, and basically in the hallway. And then so basically it's all about like what she's remembering, I guess, right?
Yes, so the kind of room that she's in, the memory where she's experiencing the memories, is sort of the memory department of the
Yeah,
brain is what it's going for. And so when everything goes into a panic, it's like, oh, what's going wrong? What's going on? And then it's trying to look back on like recent memories and trying to figure out what's going wrong. And it's like, oh, everything should be fine if I play this nice, cute memory, and then
yeah,
everything becomes worse because it's not about it's about it the relationship ending, and even remembering good times can make things a lot worse.
yeah,
That was
of
a bit
course.
complicated.
Yeah, because it's, well, the memories are ours, right? So we can, depends on where we are emotionally, it's not reality, I guess, right? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
our version of the truth. It's our version of what happened, I guess.
yeah, yeah,
So then this is like the breakup, and so it's just like it's her kind of like grasping with her thoughts and feelings, I guess.
yeah, because I made it to imply that it's kind of a sudden thing. It's like everything's going great, and then for some reason or another, there's something that goes wrong, and there's a fight, and it's just like, what, there's this moment where you feel nothing and everything, and it's like, what's happening to me?
Yeah.
What why is this happening? Why is this going wrong? And it's like trying desperately to make yourself feel better. You're trying to remember good things, nice things, and they all happen to be that relationship, and you're
Yeah.
just like sitting there trying to make yourself feel better, and you can't.
Yeah. I think a lot of people can relate to that. It's obsessiveness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially when it's so fresh and new, and it's just all up in your brain, and you can't do anything to
Yeah.
get rid of it no matter what. And then the only thing that really fixes it is distance and time.
Well, technically you're still a teenager, so it's like this might be your first. So then it's the most like it's the first time you're experiencing these emotions too, I guess, right?
Yeah,
So that you can
definitely.
really yeah, everybody can kind of relate to that. The first love and loss, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So what's the next film? What's the sequel?
There actually isn't going to be a sequel.
No, I'm kidding. I
Uh,
mean like what's the next what's the next what's the next film about?
um, so my next film is kind of a work in progress, but it's kind of again based on personal experience. It's going to be about this kind of school in Italy, and it's recess, and all these kids are playing, but there's one kid who's left out because she looks a little bit different, or she acts a little bit different. And then, someone gets injured or somebody leaves, and they have to bring her on to play, and it turns out she's a really good player. And then, you know, the game ensues and everybody has a good time, and that's kind of it. Because I wanted to have something a little bit more lighthearted this year,
Yeah.
more like, yeah,
You want to more do that again, move with more, yeah. So, but it's more
yeah,
like it's like you're changing your tone, I guess, right? You're just not gonna make
yeah,
like heartbreak movies. You can do different things, I guess, right?
yeah, because I really wanted to explore different tones and emotions, and this one I really wanted to be just a good happy little film.
A little happy little film. Yeah. Well, it seems like you're on your way. So how many years is this program?
It's just 3 years.
3 years? So you're gonna make
Yeah,
one film each year?
yeah, that's yeah, one
Are you at,
one film each year.
are you at school right now?
Yes, I am actually in. I am at in my studio, not my studio, but the studio.
Studio where you work, I guess, right?
Yes.
And what is the collaboration that you have or the communication you have with the other students, the other animation students in the class? Do you guys talk about ideas? Do you guys like work with each other on each other's films? I'm just curious about that process.
Um, we sometimes work on each other's films. For example, last year I voiced a character for one of my classmates' films, and I did some art for another one's film. But as long as you give credit, we're all happy to kind of like work on each other's films and help with each other's films. We have a very good community in the animation course.
Yeah.
Every, everyone's chatty, everyone's friendly. It's really good. It's really nice. And yeah, we like to help each other out a lot with our films. We're very encouraging. Criticism, the productive criticism
Mm.
is,
Yeah.
passed around. It's all good and dandy.
Because the animation world can be a little bit of a isolation world, I guess, right? Where you kind of like are working on this project. It's like it's very time consuming, very there's a lot of discipline involved, right? So basically sometimes you kind of lose track of people, I guess, sometimes in a general sense.
Yeah, but we I don't know, I feel like my class is very close knit. So yeah, we have a lot of fun. In fact, to me, coming into the studio is sometimes a really social event because there'll be like quite a few other students there, and we all like to talk, so we're all just like chatting, doing our stuff, and it's pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah. So so basically, what is your like goal? Do you want to just keep making films, like independent films? Do you want to like work on like more like in the industry? Like what is your goal?
I kind of am not sure. I would like to try and do anything.
Yeah,
Um, it as long as I'm creating art, I really don't mind where I land, I think.
that's pretty cool. And what did you think about the audience? We sent the North American audience to you talking about your film. What did you think they had to say?
It was it was very nice and encouraging because it was really nice to have like a really fresh pair of eyes, people who had never seen it before,
Yeah.
people who hadn't seen me working on it, weren't my teachers. So it was really nice to have that like other side of the world watch it and be like, this was really good. I liked this. And it was very good for me to internalize and know that other people would like my film,
Yeah.
would experience the same things as I felt making it.
So you had so you we asked everybody in the blog interview that what movie they seen the most times in their life. And you mentioned two films. Well, Coraline, which makes total sense to me, that that's a movie that you've watched a lot of times because there is some influence of Coraline in your film. I don't know if someone has told you that before.
No, I haven't.
Yeah. Well, it's the youthful kind of, like, but then like go running down hall, like, you know what I mean? There's this like kind of like almost not a panic, but a basically like kind of like this kind of like unknown movement, I guess, right? It sounds a little corny, I just said that, but basically, but they're like I feel that vibe. I feel the vibe in Coraline in your
Yeah,
film.
thank you.
And then, well, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you appreciate that. It's a great film. I should go watch it again because it's a pretty great film. I probably haven't seen it since it came out, like 15 years ago. You must have been young. You
Yeah.
must have been like really young when you watched it for the first time.
Oh yeah. No, I was very young when I watched Caroline. I loved it so much. I was
Yeah.
like, wow.
And then the second film is Back to the Future, which is which is during my time. Like I was like 9, 10 years old when I saw it for the first time. And that's like that goes way back. And so what got you watching that film?
I think it was my parents. We always had like big collections of DVDs, and I really loved 80s films as a kid. I don't know why. I just liked them. So, Back to the Future is one of my favorite films though, because it is to me the epitome of good screenwriting. Specifically the first one. The other two get a little complicated, but the first
Yeah.
one, screenwriting I've ever read, I've ever seen. Just really good, perfect writing.
Exposition, the first like 20 minutes is all exposition. And then, but
It's
it's like, but they're just telling the audience what they need to know, right? For when they
yeah,
go in the past. And there's really no story development until he goes to see Doc, I guess, and he shows him the time machine. But really, it's just the first 15, 20 minutes is just basically them giving us information that we need to know so we understand the second act. But it works.
everything sets up something.
Yeah.
Everything works. And what I like most as well is the comedy. It's not comedic in world, but it's comedic to the audience
Yeah.
because we're seeing everything. Well, you know, in universe, nothing's really like a funny person saying this. Oh ha ha ha! It's all very. This happens. This hasn't. This happens. It's funny to the audience.
Yeah. No, it's an interesting point that you make about like how there's obviously a comedy is like a over the top comedy where like we're just trying to make the audience laugh. But the way you just described that tone wise, that yeah, if this is really happening in reality and we're just spying in on these people's lives, this is not funny to them, but it's funny to us, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty, yeah, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, no, and it's like, yeah, then who doesn't like a time travel film, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, yeah, it's really then the third act, really like really in a funny way, just to get into the nuts and bolts is that the main character doesn't really change that much, right?
Yeah,
Marty doesn't
yeah,
really change, but everybody around him changes drastically.
yeah. That's what I really like about that film is that yes, he doesn't change. And then you watch the second and third one, you're like, okay, there's the character arc. But I like it in the first one. It's just he goes back in time, he
Yeah.
experiences some funky stuff, he gets back, everything's changed, and he's like, great. I want to go to sleep. And that's basically him in the first movie.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful.
But he's changed the reality. So his parents have changed drastically. Even Doc has changed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like so basically, so but yeah, and then the third one, it's really not, it's really Doc's film. It's a romantic Western, right? So
Yeah.
I kind of like that one. I should watch it again because it's like it's just really because he Michael J. Fox's character takes a back seat in that third one. It's like they make Doc the main character in the third one.
Okay, yeah, they do share more of the spotlight in the third one. It's
Yeah.
really good to see, especially because Doc is so enjoyable as a character. And Christopher Lloyd's acting is just on point every time. His facial expressions alone they make me laugh.
Yeah. That's one of those films that you want them to leave alone. You don't want them to recreate it, make another one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I don't think it would work if they remade Back to the Future. I really don't think it would hit the same as the
Yeah.
first. And I think if it's not going to hit the same, don't make it. Don't do
Yeah.
it. No. And especially because I feel like there would be a lot of discourse on like casting and what to do. And it's good how it is. You don't need to remake it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think you're on your way. I'd love to see your next film. And basically like and just keep at it. I think like thank you for your time. I'm a little under the weather, so I appreciate your time with me here. And yeah, so I think I want to hopefully I could see your next film and just keep going. And when you graduate, you're on your way. I guess you want to just keep creating. And it seems like you got a real love for storytelling too.
I do. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you.